Welcome to the Inland Sports Show. Is that a little Metallica, Greg? Is that what you're rocking? We're going to wake you up on this Saturday, get you all set after the first round of the CIF Southern Section Playoffs, preview round 2. And our in-studio guest, Notre Dame, the Titans. Big win last night against Heritage Christian in the first round of the Northwest Division Playoffs. We're going to talk about their win. Of course, we're going to talk about my hair. If you see some guy driving around or rolling deep in Riverside with a big ND on the back of my head, I've been getting a lot of compliments. Yeah, it's me. I fulfilled the bet. They went 10-0, so of course I had the ND shaved in the back of my hair. If you're watching this live and amplified all over the world, we'll have some video you can see as well during the Inland Sports Show a little bit later. So we're going to talk Notre Dame football. We've got Pat Thompson from Rubidoux. He's going to call in as they beat Ramona for a second time this season as the Falcons advance in the Eastern Division playoffs. So, ooh, man, it was a rough night for our Riverside schools in the Eastern Division. Hillcrest, Ramona, and Norte Vista all going down. We're going to dig deep into that a little bit later in the show. And, of course, we'll break down the Inland Division playoffs. I mean, these things are juicy. Put a bib on, fork and knife. We're going to cut into it. It's juicy. And we've got some great quarterfinal matchups coming up next Friday in the Inland Division. It's all brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona. Check out adrenalineathletic.com for all their travel ball teams for baseball, softball, soccer, football, and beyond. They do it all. And Spoiled, quick quality oil change in Riverside. For me, getting the oil change can be like going to the dentist sometimes. It's not fun. You just want to get in, you want to get out. You don't want to hassle. You want great customer service. They will hook it all up. Trust me, we take all our cars there, and we absolutely love it. All right, we're going to start, though, with Notre Dame, and we're going to talk about their win last night. They're 11-0 on the young season right now. And I say young because I expect these guys to be playing deep into December, playing for that CIF championship. And who knows? I mean, is there state championship talk? I mean, I don't know. I mean, head coach Derek Johnson over here's got a grin on his face. But first things first, the second round of the Northwest Division. And, Coach, let me start with you. You guys beat Heritage Christian last night. Final score 33-17. As the top seed, satisfied with that victory? Or still look at that game, you know what? There's still a lot of, areas that we can improve on going forward.
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do. I mean, we didn't execute very well on defense. I mean, we've played pretty good defense for 10 weeks, and we weren't tackling and lining up correctly. So we got to respect our opponents and take it one play at a time. So we're looking forward to being blessed with another week to improve.
All right, who did you bring into the studio today?
I brought in Michael Andrews, Dylan Petty, offensive lineman, linebacker Victor Gama, running back Christian Garola, and then our quarterback DB, do-it-all Manny Guerrero.
Guys, let me ask you about the game last night. Sure, it was a win, but like Coach said, where do you want to see this team get better so you don't stub your toe in the second round or the third round? This team is 11-0. I mean, there's CIF championship written all over this team, but you got to take care of your business each round. So tell me what you guys did well last night, but things that you want to get better on to make this title run all the way and fulfill it.
Well, we did get to our blocks good last night, but we need to be able to stay on our blocks longer than we did.
We just need to be hungry like we have been beginning of the season, just got to come out strong, just like week one again, It's a whole new season now that it's CIF playoffs. I mean, we just got to come out hard every week.
Yeah, just like Coach Johnson was saying, like it starts in the trenches, so that's where we need to go. And we just had a lot of guys step up this week, like Jason Kennel, he had a big game, so shouts out to him. Just everybody's been playing good, and that's what we need every single week.
The overalls, it was a good night for the Ambassador League schools. We talked about the River Valley League, man. Ooh, they got turned on their head last night. But Ambassador League schools, Aquinas won, Linfield Christian won, Notre Dame won. I think it just goes to show how strong the Ambassador League was this season. We didn't even mention Ontario Christian. They had a pretty good squad as well this year. So looking back on that 10-0, it was great. League championship was awesome. Congratulations. But still, there's got to be that appetite, really, that hunger, right, Coach? That there's still that big golden trophy in front of you.
Yeah, we break our football season into our four quarters, and we're in the fourth quarter of our football season. So, like we always try to do is we got to finish. So the focus of this fourth quarter is finishing strong, and to get that done, we just got to continue to do what we do, and that's execute and tackle.
All right, Coach, stay at the mic. I'm going to ask you this question, and I'm going to ask these guys the same thing in a second. So the meeting this morning, I'm sure it was interesting. Coach Lara over here's got a big smile on his face. I'm sure it was interesting. Yes, you guys won. Probably did some things well. Happy to move on to the second round. But was it more of, hey guys, that was the alarm clock. You need to wake up and let's get this thing going, and you play the way you know they can play?
Oh, absolutely. You're only as good as your last play. And, I kind of felt like maybe we didn't take them as serious as we should have as a football team, as a program. I mean, we tried to, as coaches, instill in them that respect everybody. But I think, sometimes teenagers will look at the records just very proud of the guys for fighting back and getting a win when the game was tight and executing down the stretch, which was really important, getting that turnover.
All right, so that's what Coach said about the meeting. How did you guys take the meeting? Was it the same thing that, it got your attention? This is a talented team, but you got to take every game seriously. You got to go out there and play every snap. I mean, what did you guys think about, getting the win, but coming back this morning, having that meeting, kind of getting that refocus, right?
Honestly, this meeting this morning was a huge reality check for us. We didn't, like Coach Johnson said, we didn't come out, we didn't respect these guys that much, as much as we needed to, because they were a great team. I mean, it was two great teams clashing, and honestly, we just need a reality check going into this week. We're playing Rancho Mirage, great physical team. We just need to come out, be a lot more physical, and execute a lot more.
Are you guys home this week? You're on the road
Yeah.
at Rancho Mirage in the second round? So as you move forward, is it like, boom, tunnel vision, focus on what you got to do, take care of your business, play every snap, and, I don't even know what Rancho Mirage's record is or what they did or who they beat, but is it all about maybe focusing on what you guys need to do as opposed to who they beat or what they do or what they run?
Yeah, I mean, definitely just this whole week of practice, we just need to stay, as a group in unit and just focus on, getting better as a group and just running the ball, passing the ball, just doing everything in the game we can do.
We're talking with the Notre Dame football team here on the one and only Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM, and we got you in here, guys. So proud of your season, 10-0. Let's rewind back to, I think it was August, last week August. I said, you guys go 10-0. And I was in the moment. I was feeling good. You guys were getting me all excited. I saw who was coming back. I saw who was transferring in. You guys look good. I said, you know what? You guys go 10-0. I'll shave the old ND Notre Dame logo in the back of my head. So if you're watching us live and amplified all over the world, we've got some video from the, I guess it was a pep rally. Is that fair to say? Pun intended. A pep rally at Notre Dame High School. Whole school in the gym. I had no idea. I thought it was going to be Coach Johnson, a couple of the guys. I'd be out on the practice field just sitting there on a stool. No, it was the whole entire school in the gymnasium. And they cut my hair right there at midcourt. Guys, thank you, first off, for going 10-0 and making me, do this.
Thank you for freaking...
Did you guys enjoy that?
Yeah, it was fun.
I love doing it. I would do it again. The problem is I got a weird shaped head, and I found out the hard way. So I don't know if I'll be making this specific bet again. I'll put something else on the line next time. But man, my kids and my wife are like, yeah, that's kind of embarrassing, now you got to walk around like that. When's that going to grow back in? And I was at football games last night, and people were like, oh, Notre Dame fan. They were thinking like Notre Dame University. It's like, nah, man, Notre Dame and Riverside, the high school, that's where it's at. They're like, yeah.
You're really rocking it, Pep.
I'm trying, dude. I'm trying. And as I've said before on this show, I've got little kids that go to the feeder school into Arrowhead Christian, and I know them very well. In fact, they're head of school, I know him from Bakersfield, but he was also at Linfield Christian, so he's a Linfield Christian guy as well. So I know he's going to love the old ND in the back of my head. So we're looking at some video. While we're mentioning, I should give another shout out to my boy, too. He's from the Riverside Shave Company. He came out. He did my hair. He did a great job. You can see him in action right now. Just $20 a haircut. He also does shaves for $20. They're right there off Magnolia, right here in Riverside, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6. But you got to call. You got to get an appointment. He's too busy to just roll in there. He's too good. You can see. So if you want an ND, I can vouch. He knows how to do the ND. If you want a Notre Dame logo, he can do it. He'll hook it all up. So thanks to two out there. We really appreciate him hooking up the old Notre Dame logo on the back of my head. All right, so guys, going into the season, you had all these great plans, huge expectations, goals. Right now you're 11-0. You're right where you want to be, right? You haven't lost a game. You've learned some things along the line. Picked up a big win against Linfield. You got through the first round of the playoffs. So far, let me start with Coach Johnson. You guys will get this too, but so far, I mean, when you look back, so far, these 11 victories, what really stands out about this team? What's been the hallmark, like the stamp of this team? When you're like, you know what? When you talk Notre Dame football, you're talking about this. This is what we are all about.
You know, we're really excited about our concept and theme this year, and it's been completely about we, not me. And you see in every one of our football games someone else stand out. I mean, everybody's just taking their turn, and when their number's called, they perform and they produce. So the we, not me, selfless attitudes by our teammates, our players, I mean, that's what our success has been, and it's been the highlight. I mean, everyone's sacrificing some personal gains for the overall team win. And we're pumped up about it. I'm pretty stoked that they're that committed to each other to get it done.
Same thing, guys. I mean, is it really about just, maybe sacrificing your own wants or your own stats or however it boils down and just focusing on getting that victory? What can I do to help the guy next to me, do my own job and follow through and get that job done, right?
I mean, it's a team sport. It's a beautiful thing, I think us as a whole, we do play as a team. We play for each other. It's a real family over here at Notre Dame.
It definitely just goes outside of football too. Like, you catch us anywhere around town. We're rolling 5 deep Notre Dame. We're always with each other. Like,
We're always together.
Yeah, we all live in different. Like, we all live far, so we just all rendezvous. We always find time to hang out. So.
Rock the Notre Dame gear like around town.
Yeah, of course. Definitely.
But see, you guys aren't fully committed until you get the ND in your hair. Wearing a shirt is easy, right? Wearing a hat is easy.
Yeah.
You got to have it in your hair. You got to go all in, right, Coach? Come on, all in. All in, right?
All in, baby.
Soon.
Soon. Maybe you should get like CIF champs or something, if you fulfill the job. I know there's still several games. First things first.
Long road ahead of us.
One game at a time.
That's right.
One play at a time.
We're not finished yet. Best believe that. We're not finished.
Well, I'm fingers crossed. I'd love to see you guys get Linfield again in the championship. And I know they got to take care of their side of the bracket. You guys got to take care of your side. Still a lot of football to be played, but that would be fun for a local sports fan to see that happen again. It was such a great game the first time around. Coach, let me ask you, when you got to Notre Dame last year, you guys were in the playoff hunt, right? I forget what your record was, but 3-7?
6-4.
6-4 last year?
Yes, sir.
So I remember being at your game at Western Christian. It was on the road, kind of wild game, and you were right there in the playoff hunt. But this year it just seems like, what just switched? Something happened in the program that it just kind of clicked. You guys put it together, and now you are the #1 seed in the Northwest Division.
We worked really hard last year just to get in the playoffs and change some of the culture and get all the student athletes to believe in themselves and have some confidence on the football field. And that 49-7 defeat last year in the playoffs was on my screen.
Is that Shadow Hills?
Shadow Hills.
Yeah.
Was on my screensaver, and every time we're in the weight room as they walk in, I'd show them that score. And during semifinals, everybody committed to the weight room, so we started lifting back in November while other teams were still playing. And I think that commitment to each other, having 23 guys in the weight room consistently for 8 months, I think that's what turned it over. This group of seniors and these younger guys want to be winners, and so they said, Coach, show us the way, we're all in. And it started last November after we lost that game.
Let me ask for the guys that are returning who played on that team last year. What's the difference between just fighting and clawing for a playoff spot as opposed to thinking league title, thinking about maybe playoff seedings and being the #1 seed? Obviously, it's a different mindset. Instead of like, hey guys, we gotta win this game if we want to have any hope to just sneak into the playoffs, as opposed to the target's on our back. Everybody knows what we're about now, and we want to win league, make a deep run in CIF. You guys are the #1 seed, so obviously it's apples and oranges compared to what you guys were going through last year.
This year we're like more of a family. We play for each other, like Coach Johnson said, and that's the whole thing this year. The whole difference from this year to last year. This year we're way more of a family than we were last year, and we just play for each other.
Anybody else?
Just definitely just last year, this year is just flipping the script. Like, everyone's committed. Like last year, everybody's in, but nobody wanted to put the work in. This year, everybody's been working since November. People playing other sports, coming back to live, getting the extra work, running Mount Rubidoux. If everybody knows that, running the backside.
Yeah.
Just everybody working hard, no matter if you're starting or not. Everybody's working hard, giving people looks at practice. It's just so great just to see what's changed.
That's awesome. So you guys lost to Shadow Hills, and Coach Johnson said, "All right, guys, I'll see you next week in the weight room. Let's go." You know, next season's right around the corner, right?
No days off.
Well, guys, best of luck. I really appreciate you coming on this Saturday. I wish I could have been a fly on that wall in the meeting this morning. That would have been fun. I would have liked that. But guys, congratulations on 11-0. Don't be satisfied. Don't be satisfied. We'll keep this thing going next round against Rancho Mirage in the Northwest Division playoffs. The Notre Dame football team, when we come back, we're going to break down the Inland Division here and also check in with Pat Thompson, the head coach at Rubidoux, after their big win against Ramona in the Eastern Division. You're listening to the one and only Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Every sport that we offer here, the performance training is definitely specific to what they need. A lot of people actually come in here for the performance training, and also we have our travel ball program with our softball and baseball teams. Our performance training definitely to get quicker, stronger, faster.
All right, 15 seconds. Mic is on.
Let's do this with the new Swiffer Extreme Dust Collector, just $13.97 at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. For all 16 sizes, visit homedepot.com/Swiffer. While supplies last, U.S. only. See store for details.
IE Sports heard right here on Fox Sports Radio 1350 and foxsportsradio1350.com. Now here's more with Pep on the Inland Sports Show.
We're back on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. We appreciate you joining us here on this Saturday. First round of the high school football playoffs in the rear view mirror. We're looking ahead to round two, and as we said, some real juicy matchups coming up in the Inland Division. Put on your bib, grab your fork and knife. We're going to cut into this thing. It's going to get messy because we got some great matchups coming up. We got to thank our sponsors, Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona and Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change in Riverside. Once again, the Riverside Shave Company hooked it all the way up on the ND on the back of my head. So
that was something to see, man. It was something to see. Yeah, let me just say, Notre Dame did a great job of hosting the event. Originally, we thought it's going to be coaches in a circle. We're going to throw Pep on a stool and just shave his head. But no, we did it. We went all out. The whole school was there.
We get to the campus. They're like, no, we're going to do it in the gym. We're shutting down the school. So all the kids have to come into the gym. We're all going to sit and watch. You're going to be at midcourt on the basketball court. And your boy, too, from the Riverside Shave Company is going to hook it up.
And I think the principal got a man bun or something is going on there, right?
Apparently, man buns are the rage right now. Is that right?
Not in this studio.
Yeah. No, I know, but I don't know. Some who is it? The guy who plays Thor in the
Liam Hemsworth.
Okay, sure. So there's famous actors who are doing the man bun right now, and it's like the cool thing. So I said there was a bunch of Notre Dame high school students there, a bunch of girls, and I said, "Are man buns the thing right now?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, it's the thing." I had no idea.
Just because it's the thing doesn't mean it looks good, though, Pep.
Everything Nick brings up an excellent point.
Wisdom.
A lot of those celebrity types do pretty random things in the world of fashion, and it's just not my cup of tea. But anyways, so the Notre Dame principal, yes, he had to get, he didn't have his hair long enough, so it was like extensions, like a fake man bun.
Awesome.
So he was getting his hair did with the man bun, and I was getting the old Notre Dame logo in the back of my head. So in just a couple minutes, not too long from now, Rubidoux head coach Pat Thompson's going to call in. He's going to talk about Rubidoux beating Ramona for a second time this season. And the way it kind of unfolded was a little bizarre because the CIF released its playoff brackets for the Eastern Division on Sunday, which is all fine and dandy. So Monday afternoon, I'm on my way to San Diego to check out the Chargers on Monday Night Football, and I get an email from the CIF saying they had to reshuffle the brackets and that Ramona was not playing, I think it was Silverado.
Yeah.
It was going to be Rubidoux now. And Rubidoux beat Ramona. I think it was the first game of the year, 17-7. Did you have that game?
It was week 0. It was 17-7. Ramona actually had a 7-0 lead going into the fourth quarter, and then Rubidoux powered for 17 points in that last quarter. It was a good game.
So a good game.
Yeah.
And you thought, wow, the rematch, right? So this is going to be great. It's hard to beat a team twice in one season. But head coach Pat Thompson and his Falcons got the job done last night. 24-7 the final score, so he's going to check in and talk about that win. And also kind of the whole thing with the CIF and how it got reshuffled because you find out who you're going to play on Sunday. And I'm sure he spent the rest of Sunday looking at video of, I think it was Palm Desert that they were going to play. So he was probably already breaking down tape. He knew which guys to key on. And then Monday afternoon rolls around. It's like, nah, you don't got Palm Desert. You got Ramona. So we're going to talk to him about that. The Inland Division. I know everyone's following this closely. We're going to punch up the brackets right now. If you're following along at home, we had a bunch of the highlights last night on Sports Weekly Live. We had highlights of Heritage, Yucaipa, and Cajon. They are all in the quarterfinals. So Heritage will hit the road for Yucaipa in the quarterfinals. Cajon will hit the road for San Jacinto. The Tigers beating Riverside Poly last night. And David Zink and I had a very informal conversation over the phone, and he's like, you know what? I really like this Riverside Poly team. They're pretty scrappy. I think they might actually beat San Jacinto. And I said, you know what? I don't know. San Jacinto's got a guy named River Rainwater. I've seen them play. They're pretty good. They're home. I don't know, man. I think San Jacinto's going to at least get this first round game because it gets pretty tough after that. As you can see, they got Cajon.
Oh, yeah.
So Zink's like, well, you should make a little bet on that because he won't admit it. He's a Riverside Poly guy. All his kids went to Riverside Poly. So I said, listen, if San Jacinto beats Riverside Poly,
you shave your head.
No, well, he said, okay, so let me backtrack. He said, okay, if Poly beats San Jacinto, take your ND logo, you got to fill it in green where your head was shaved. I said, that's fine, I'll do that. But if San Jacinto wins, I want to have someone paint your face like a tiger.
Oh, what?
So San Jacinto won. So David Zink's supposed to call from the NHRA finals at Pomona in the last segment. And I'm going to bring that up. And I want to see if he just happens to forget, like, did I say that? I don't remember. Did we talk about that?
Yeah, what excuse is he going to have?
Exactly.
You put the words in my mouth, Pep.
I mean, because I was, like, in my car. I wasn't holding the phone. I had the Bluetooth, so I wasn't breaking the law.
Alright, good.
But I was in the car, and we were just talking about which games were coming up and some good matchups and which games could be close. And I just kind of threw it out there. I'm like, hey, and you know what? If San Jacinto wins, you're going to paint your face like a tiger. So we'll see. We'll see if he remembers.
Yeah.
So that's the top half of the bracket. If you're watching us live and amplified on the Inland Sports YouTube channel, San Jacinto versus Cajon, Heritage versus Yucaipa. Bottom half of the bracket, we've got the Rancho Verde taking on Redlands East Valley. That game will be on the ranch, Rancho Verde High School, the same place where Rev won 38-34 earlier this season. Nick, you were at the Rev game last night.
I was.
We miss our good friend, the old Harm dog, Joey Harmon, but Rev, man, had no problem with Harupa Hills.
Looked like the all-pass attack with Armando Herrera. Threw for a couple tubs.
He's a
Looked
stud.
pretty good.
And they're going to need him, right? I mean, with
Oh,
Joey
yeah.
Harmon down, Armando Herrera is going to have to step his game up, which we know he can. He's a stud.
Oh, yeah, and he's got those big receivers out wide. It's not hard to.
C.J. Harris, Chris Vaughn, right?
Yep.
Your boy Ryan Neiman. Saw him in the highlights last night on Sports Weekly Live.
2 punt returns for touchdowns. Consecutive punt returns for touchdowns.
He's the man. He's
Oh,
the
yeah.
man. We'll give him a shout out. So we got Rancho Verde Rev in one of the quarterfinals. And Redlands against
This is gonna
Citrus
be a
Hill.
game, man.
If you look at it, and I said this last night on the show, it's the Redlands School District against the Valverde School District. Rev Rancho, Redlands, Citrus Hill. Man, seriously, like, I have a hard time even picking these games because they're just toss-ups. They're such good quarterfinal matchups. We had highlights of Redlands against Paloma Valley last night. I think it was 14-14 at the half.
Yep.
And then the Terriers just stepped on the gas. I mean, they really put their foot on the accelerator. Won 49-21 against Paloma Valley last night. And Citrus Hill, that game, world-famous Intern Angel, you were there. Citrus Hill, as we expected, had no problem with Arlington.
Yeah, just a few things in this game. Citrus Hill's running backs, Dumar Fisher and Devin Floyd, combined for over 300 yards. They only give up 3 first downs the whole game. So, Citrus Hill ran away with that one. But, you know what? I just want to say about Arlington, dude. Coach Lunsford did a great job of coming in this year and getting that team to the playoffs. And
yeah, just to get them to that point.
Yeah.
That's a huge turnaround.
That's just a great accomplishment for that program. And Lunsford, I love what he's doing with the program. So look for Arlington to get better and better in the years to come. But, yeah, Citrus looked great last night. Zomalt had the team prepared. And, boy, that's going to be a matchup next week.
At the Boneyard.
At the Boneyard.
Dude,
I think I saw something, Nick, on Twitter. It said, like, let's get that Boneyard packed.
I'm sure. It's going to be packed. Watch out, Pep.
Citrus Hill, Redlands, Rancho Verde Rev, Cajon, San Jacinto.
These are all
and
finals matchups, man.
That's what I said, man. Where's your bibs? Put your bib on. It's going to get messy.
Got it on.
It's going to get juicy here in the quarterfinals. Such great matchups. I was at the Yucaipa San Gorgonio game last night, and if you went back to earlier in the season, San G lost 47-7. I mean, Yucaipa really gave it to him. You were at that game, right, Nick?
I was at that game. Yucaipa put it to him. They really did.
And Yucaipa beat Carter.
Carter, yeah.
I mean, they've got some quality wins. This is a good team.
Yucaipa was an at-large team in the CBL, right?
A last one in. The only at-large team to make the Inland Division playoffs.
And I mean, look what they went on to do. So it's an incredible, just an amazing division of football.
It is. I mean, the Citrus Belt League and the Inland Division is just amazing. San G was in it, though. It was 2014 was the final score. San G had the ball, like the last possession. If they could just, get that touchdown, the extra point, they would have won. But they had the ball with a chance to win it at the end and turned it over on loss of downs. Just could not get it done. But obviously this game was a lot closer than their first meeting. 20-14 the final score in that one, San G and Yucaipa. Real quick, in the Eastern Division, we talked about it, man. We had highlights from all these games on Sports Weekly Live, and I felt so bad. Ramona lost, Norte Vista lost, and Hillcrest lost. So all 3 teams out of the River Valley League in Riverside, gone. Just like that.
Yikes.
So it was a rough night for our Riverside schools as they all took a bow out. But the Mountain Valley represented. Rubidoux won. We're going to have Coach Thompson in just a second. And Moreno Valley beat Apple Valley. So Moval and Rubidoux still alive in the Eastern Division playoffs and representing the Mountain Valley League very, very well. Our last hope, Palm Springs is the top seed in that division, and for good reason. They really gave it to Hillcrest last night. But I should say, under John Brandom, Hillcrest made the playoffs for the very first time. 6 wins. I mean, that's a huge turnaround for Hillcrest. Still a very young school. So congrats to them on getting to this point. Real quick, before we talk with Coach Thompson, Centennial had no problem with Chaminade. We knew this. Corona and Norco both lost last night in the Pac-5 playoffs, so Centennial's our lone school. Still alive in the Pac-5 playoffs, and it looks like they will be on a collision course to meet St. John Bosco. Barring something crazy, it looks like they will meet St. John Bosco.
Like you mentioned, it's a Christmas tradition now, you know?
It's like December, you know? You play Bosco, and then you play De La Salle, and you get Christmas presents.
Christmas
kind of
trees and Centennial and Bosco.
Kind of in that order. So Centennial, they beat Chaminade last night, and next up, Orange Lutheran, team they already beat this year.
Yeah.
Still going to be a good game. They're going to go on the road for that one down to the OC. But Centennial still representing well for our local area and the Pac-5 division. In the West Valley division, Vista Murrieta won. They'll play at Upland. Murrieta Valley also won, but they get Mission Viejo in the next round. That's tough for the Nighthawks. So we did pretty well all with our local schools, including Rubidoux. And speaking of the Falcons, the head coach of your Rubidoux Falcons, the great Pat Thompson. And Coach, first off, congratulations on that win last night against Ramona.
Hey, Pep, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, Coach, let me ask you, so beating Ramona once is tough. You beat them twice in one season. Talk about maybe between the first meeting and this meeting, was there any change? I mean, obviously 24-7 last night. Pretty decisive score considering the Rams got their touchdown towards the end.
Yes, Pep, I told my team this week that it's going to be really, really hard to overcome a very good football team 2 times in one season, and that was kind of our mantra this whole week. I got to tip my hat to, Coach Fazio and Riverside Ramona. I really, really think they went, above and beyond with the athletes and the team that they have over there. They do an excellent, stellar job, and they play some lights-out defense. They definitely have improved, I think, defensively from week 0 to last night. And we were very, very aware of that, based on the film evidence that we watched over the season. So yeah, we just knew that we couldn't take them lightly this week, and we knew that they were definitely improved. So we went to battle last night with that mantra.
Well, Coach, we love Coach Fazio and Ramona on here, but when you saw on Monday that they switched the brackets to Ramona, I guess this is kind of an open-ended question, but first off, when you saw on Sunday that you were going to have Palm Desert, how much studying and homework had you already done on Palm Desert before they switched the matchups? And then once you got Ramona, did you think, oh man, not again? Like you said, it's tough to beat the same team twice in one season.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? One thing I personally hate to do is waste time, and my staff and I, we spent about 10 hours of hardcore studying and developing a game plan for Palm Desert on Sunday. We got back from Kaiser High School after we found out that we're going to play Palm Desert, and we worked till literally 9 p.m. In my classroom on Sunday, and we developed attendance reports on Palm Desert, and I mean, we studied them. We knew them like the back of our hand, and then we were walking out to the practice field on Monday, and the Marina Valley head coach calls me and said, "Hey, coach, you've got to check your emails right now." And I was literally on the practice field when I got the message that CIF had changed the bracket. So I was extremely frustrated, just because, not necessarily the matchups, but just because we wasted so much time,
sure,
and so much energy. I just wish I could have told my staff, Sunday, enjoy your family, have fun. Let's just take the day off. That would have been a much better scenario, But it was very, 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 very frustrating. And then I had to take the day off work on Tuesday to develop a game plan for Ramona, and get a practice plan together for my boys. So it was frustrating. It was definitely frustrating. We were just happy to get in the playoffs, Pep. That's all we wanted to do. We wanted to get in the playoffs, and we didn't care who we played. We just wanted to get out there and have some fun.
Hey, Coach, how's it going? Angel Viscara here from the Press Enterprise.
Angel, what's up?
Not much, man. But anytime I go out to a Rubidoux football game, now I've learned not to expect an air raid offense, but I expect some smash mouth football. Could you go a little bit into the style of football you've tried bringing to this football program this year?
Yeah, Rubidoux, it started in 1981 with Leo Brohart. He was the head coach. My dad was the offensive line coach back then. literally, Rubidoux has a legacy of smash mouth, physical, offensive football, and I just wanted to kind of take that legacy forward. And it fits our community, it fits our kids. We're kind of gritty, we're very physical, we work really, really hard. Typically, we're undersized, but we got some speed. So it all our offensive system kind of makes sense, in my opinion, with kind of the smash mouth approach. And obviously, I think it's worked this season, and we're having a lot of fun, and the kids are really, really buying in, and they're really trusting, our staff and our scheme and our system. So it's really neat to kind of see, kind of unfold, like it has done, over the last couple of decades here at Rubidoux. So it's really neat to see that legacy continue going forward.
Hey, Coach Thompson, it's amazing how many coaches and players around the game of football in this area have ties to Rubidoux. Everywhere I go, people are telling me, you got to do it for the dough. Like, there's so many players, like, they have a connection. They grew up there, or they used to coach there, or they got kids that went through the program. Is there a sense of pride getting Rubidoux back on this, the right track, I guess you could say, and, helping them get to the playoffs and win a playoff game?
Oh yeah, absolutely. One of the messages that we tell our boys, from the very start was that this is a very prideful community, and we have such a rich history. And our symbol is the Rubidoux crest, and that symbol means a lot to us. And it's not just about football; it's the community in which we play and serve. So it's a total family affair. And I got to tell you, so many people throughout, alumni and people that coached and played, message me and call me and talk to me, and we always talk about the memories of Rubidoux throughout the 80s and 90s. So it's really, really neat to see Rubidoux kind of carry that banner forward, and move that legacy on. It's really, really neat.
So, Coach, if I'm looking at the brackets right, are you guys home for Serrano on next Friday?
That's correct.
That's correct. Okay, because there was some discrepancy because of the switch in the first round games and the coin flips and stuff. I just want to make sure we got that right.
Yeah.
So
it's my understanding. I just talked to my AD this morning to confirm we are at home this Friday. What the discrepancy is right now is the start time. We don't know if we're going to start at 7:30 or 7 p.m. I'm trying to get a hold of the Serrano head coach and trying to hammer that out right now. But as of right now, it's my understanding that we're starting at 7:30 p.m. at Rubidoux High School on Friday.
Are you a creature of habit? You'd rather start at 7? Keep that routine down?
You know what? I'm okay either way. I'm okay either way. A lot of people are going on vacation next week, so a 7:30 start time doesn't bother me. But I'm okay with either one.
Well, Coach, continue to do it for the dough. We appreciate you taking the time here on the Inland Sports Show. Congratulations on that win, and best of luck against the Diamondbacks next Friday, Coach.
Yes, sir. Hey, Pat and Angel, thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Coach. That's Pat Thompson, head coach at Rubidoux High School, joining us here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. And before he even called, world-famous intern Angel said, he's such a good dude. We love Coach Thompson.
Yeah, he's a really colorful dude. He's great for quotes. I mean, the guy's awesome, and you can tell he's really passionate about the Rubidoux community beyond football. I mean, he just loves being a part of that community.
Now, I shot a couple of their games throughout the season. I think two or three. Yeah, he's pretty animated on the sideline, man. He's into it, and I dig it. I mean, I love coaches like that.
Yeah, it's awesome, and I mean, one thing he told me is their playoffs started probably 2 or 3 weeks ago because they've had to win every game just to get into the playoffs. So I mean, they're on a roll.
You're
right.
Right. That's a good point. It came down the last week against Banning. They had to win at Banning, and Banning actually gave them a ball game.
I think it was like 43-34, something close.
Yeah. So they win the final week to get in, and what do? They win their first round game. Now they move on to the second round, and they will be at home against Serrano. And Serrano, man, the Diamondbacks are always tough. That's gonna be a tough matchup at home. But you got to do it for the dough, right? That's what we say on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, David Zink is supposed to check in from the NHRA. You want to text him, world famous?
Supposed to.
Text him and be like, Zink, get your act together. Call in the show. We'll talk a little drag racing if he wants. That's fine for all those motorheads out there. We can talk a little drag racing. We'll also talk a little more high school football as well. And a shout out to Jade Gortares. local baseball pitcher. She is a baseball pitcher. Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you why she's getting a shout out when we come back on the one and only Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Every sport that we offer here, the performance training is definitely specific to what they need. A lot of people actually come in here for the performance training, and also we have our travel ball program with our softball and baseball teams. Our performance training definitely to get quicker, stronger, faster.
Greg, you got us rocking out today, man. You're all fired up for the playoffs, aren't you? I can tell, man. Bringing the rock on this Saturday. Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. David Zink from the Press Enterprise is supposed to be calling the show. Hopefully he'll follow through. Earlier when I texted him, he's like, yeah, I'll try to make it happen. Come on, dude. They're going to be drag racing all day long. You can't be that busy. Put down the corn dog in your pad. This Greg, you know what I'm talking about. Wait, do you think he doesn't get a corn dog when he goes to the drags? Right, Greg? Do you think he does not do it?
I believe he does.
Put down the corn dog, the pen in the pad, and we'll. He doesn't listen. How long have we been doing this show?
I
For
do
like
not know.
50 years. He's still here. I got the number right here, Greg. Zink wants to know what the phone number is.
Oh,
and
man. Yikes.
hold on, I got it right here. This is the beauty of live radio. Where in the world did it go? Hold on, it's right here. Here it is. It's right there.
Zink's a mess.
Zink's like, what's the number to the radio station? The same as it was 50 years ago when we started the show, man. It's the same thing. I'm sorry. Zink's not even here. I'm just burying him like stepbrother. Just throw dirt on his head. Like, get out of here. So, hey, quick shout outs where he calls in. Excuse me. Jade Gortares. pitcher at Hillcrest High School signed with the University of Texas, the Longhorns, for softball. So she plays baseball. She's really good. She's on the women's national team, but she signed with Texas to play softball. That's how good she is. Doesn't even play softball. She plays baseball. But they said, you know what? Yeah, we can tell. You're legit. So congrats to Jade Gortares signing her scholarship with the Texas Longhorns. We're going to get her on the show very, very soon. She's still playing some fall ball games. So we had to postpone that a little bit. We wanted to get her on this week, but she's got actually a game today. But we're going to get her on very, very soon to talk about signing with Texas, talk about the women's national team, and all that stuff. I know Intern Angel has a shout-out, but we're going to have to wait because David Zink from the Press Enterprise is now checking in. And Zink, are you in Pomona right now?
I am in Pomona, Pep. I'm live from the actual Pomona, what we call this Auto Club Raceway in Pomona for the 51st annual NHRA final, and things are just getting underway here today. I had a busy day yesterday with Jack Beckman, but first I wanted to find out, how's the back of your head doing, buddy?
Oh, it's wonderful, but you know what? It actually gets kind of cold. Like, seriously, it gets cold. I got to put like a hoodie on or a beanie.
It's amazing how much hair you need to keep your head warm, huh?
Yeah. Hey, Greg wants to know, are you eating a corn dog?
I'm not eating a corn dog.
Are you going to?
You know what? I'll do it just for Greg. Take a picture and let him.
Excellent, excellent. So this is a huge weekend for motorheads, right? It all comes down to this.
If you like the fastest sport and if you're like the fastest of all motorsports, you'll definitely love this one. I mean, it's a beautiful day out here, dude. I can see from mountain pass to mountain pass. It's amazing. It's beautiful in Pomona, but what's even better is, man, you got all these gearheads here, and it's just crazy to look at how many people just love the sport of drag racing, but just really how many people just love motorsports, because, I mean, this place is packed.
Now, Zeke, I've been to the house of Fast Jack Beckman. Good dude, one of the biggest names in the sport, and for whatever reason, you guys are like BFFs now.
Yeah, you know, he actually invited me into his pit yesterday to spend the day with him and find out what it's like to be a drag racer, to be Jack Beckman. And so I got here about 9 o'clock yesterday morning. He was late because of traffic, but he still made it to his first event, which was an autograph signing event over in this private area for people who pay extra money just to spend time with a guy like Jack, and signing autographs, taking pictures, kissing babies, all that kind of stuff. It was a lot of fun. But, you know, to watch him go through the day, there are so many things that he does, and there's so many people that want to press the palms and, give him hugs and say, hey, how's it going, Jack? And he's so personable. He finds time for everybody, and he finds time to run that drag car down the strip. I think yesterday he did 2 passes. Both passes were the exact same time. It was a 9.6. I think it was a 9.64. And so that's a very fast pass. Actually, the fastest was a 9.1, which was there were 9.1, 9.2, and 9.3. So he's so far in qualifying number 5, but he'll move up the ladder. Yesterday he blew his. I told me that he blew his blower in the second pass and had to let off. So he had a good pass going, but he had to let off, but he ran identical times. The crazy story from yesterday was Billy Torrance, the father of Steve Torrance, who's 57 years old. He only races like 4 or 5 events every year. And yesterday he went down the track and actually schooled all these young top fuel drivers, getting the fastest time yesterday. He set personal best for himself in both speed and ET, and he's at the top of the ladder right now when you talk about when you're talking about top fuel. So we've got in the professional class, we got the pro bikes, we got top fuel, we got pro mods, which are basically still gas vehicles. We have the 2 nitro categories, which would be funny car and again top fuel. It's going to be a lot of fun here today and tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of just gearing up. I was in there finishing up my story about Jack Beckman, but I'm going to get out here. Actually, I'm making my way down to go see C.W. Hofer, who is from County Line Road, right out your way, Pep. Lives on County Line Road, and he qualified for the National Championship as a sportsman class driver. I'm going to go down and see how he's doing. But I tell you what, man, if you got the time and you like motorsports, Pomona is the place to be today. And
Zeke, hold on. Come up for air for a second. Come on. We know you're excited.
You're like a cesspool of drag racing knowledge, man.
You just hit us with a whole bunch of info. We love it.
I'm telling you, man, this is one of my guilty pleasures.
We can tell you're passionate.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
When it's not football, when it's not baseball, what have you, man, I'm sitting at home wishing I could go. Dude, I don't know if you've ever been here, but when a car comes by you, especially those nitros, can you hear them in the background?
Yeah, we can hear them.
Now warming up, but if you really listen to, you go stand on the line when a car takes off, a nitro car, like a funny car or a top fuel car, and they literally rattle through you. I'm going to say an unnamed photographer. I'm not going to give his name just because I don't want to embarrass him too much, but an unnamed photographer for the Press Enterprise was standing on the start line shooting photos, and he told me that he had to go use the restroom when he was done doing it because it had rattled everything that he needed to get rid of.
Shook it all out, huh?
So, hey man, it's getting a little loud around here. That car's going on. I hope everything is good. Friday night football is pretty fantastic. I kept my eyes on the things. I checked out Centennial on the screen. I checked out Orange Lutheran. I see that we've got Redland still in there. Rev and Rancho Verde looks like a great game next week. I'd like to go cover. But what are you guys' thoughts on those things?
We've been breaking it all down. We had Pat Thompson from Rubidoux talking about beating Ramona twice in one season and how the CIF kind of reshuffled the bracket. We put on some bibs. We got out the fork and knife, and we really cut into those juicy Inland Division games. So we've been breaking it down, but we miss you.
Yeah, we do.
I miss you guys too, man. I'll be back next week. I'll be back next week. This is a one weekend event, and I'm just saying, if you got time and you want to check out some really kick-ass drag racing, you got to come down to Pomona this weekend. I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot of fun. In fact, it is just teeming with people. You better get down here quick, because tickets are probably going to go away. And I got the best seat in the house, man. I sit right behind. I got my seat. If I'm looking out the window, I'm looking at two cars on the line waiting for the Christmas tree to go off so they can make pass down the way. And it's just fantastic, man. I like to take a picture and send it to you guys. But you guys have fun. Close out the show, and I will talk to you guys again next week. Hopefully, they'll give you an extra week of having the ND on the back of your head.
Man, I wish these phone conversations were a little better because I wish you were more talkative. We're just messing with you, dude. You're awesome. That was awesome. Obviously, you're very passionate about drag racing. Hey, but let me ask you real quick. Give me a short answer. Are you going to paint your face like a tiger because San Jacinto beat Riverside Poly?
No.
Oh!
Why would I do that?
Because we talked about it.
Right. You know what? Sure, I will. If you guys, I'll tell you what, Pep, you got to find a face painter that's going to paint my face like a tiger, and I'll do it.
I found one. His name's Pep.
Hey, by the way, I forgot to tell you before you guys go, the biggest highlight of the last 2 days, and he just...
You got 1 minute. You got 1 minute, by the way.
Listen, the biggest highlight of the last 2 days, and he just walked by me and reminded me of it. Okay, so Randy Johnson's a huge photographer. He loves taking photos. You know the unit, right? So yesterday I walked into the press center, and who's standing there with a camera on his shoulder, with his media badge, with his photo vest on and everything?
Randy Johnson?
Randy Johnson. Come to find out, here you go. Here's a something you don't know about.
You got
Randy
30
Johnson.
seconds.
Randy Johnson is such a big photographer. He loves Rush, the band Rush. He goes to all their concerts all the time. Whenever they're touring, he shoots photos. Randy Johnson has shot a photo that is actually the photo on the cover of the Greatest Hits album for Rush, if you go take a look at it. But he's here this weekend shooting drag racing. He loves it too.
Dude, that's unbelievable. Go talk to him.
I tried to talk to him. He doesn't like talking to media.
Oh, well, he's media too.
Yeah, no, that's what I tried to. That's what I thought was the great ironic thing about it. But hey, I'll let you guys go. You guys head out, have a good time. I will be back with you next weekend. And Pep, if you can find a face painter who's going to make me look good, I'm all over it.
We'll make it happen, dude. Enjoy your day. Thanks for calling in, man. You're the best.
Peace.
All right, see you, brother. All right, it's David Zing from the Press Enterprise. Woo! Man, I'm sweating. I'm exhausted just listening to him go.
He can eat clock, man.
Man, he can. It's all brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona, Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change in Riverside. Gotta give a shout out to Sports Weekly Live. Check out IEMG TV and the IEMG YouTube channel. If you want to see last night's show with the highlights, you can still go on YouTube and check out all the highlights from last night's show. Intern Angel, real quick
before we go, some shout outs to my North Huskies signing a few days ago. Christian Koss going up to UCI to play some baseball. Shane Martinez going to U of A, University of Arizona Wildcats, to play baseball. And finally, Dikembe Martin Dikembe the Man Martin, going to UC Riverside to play basketball for the next 4 years. So shout out to my Huskies, keeping it up. J-Dub, 3rd in Chicago.
There you go, 3rd in Chicago. And one more quick shout out to IE Weekly. They did a story on me. They say I've conquered local media.
Conquered?
They say I'm one of the top 3 of all time.
You're a mogul.
You have to read it. They compared me to these greats of all time. They say I've conquered it. I'm at the top. I came, I saw, I conquered. Not really. If you're satisfied like Notre Dame, you won't get anywhere, right? You got to stay hungry.
We not me.
That's right. Family, forget about me, I love you. You guys hear about that?
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, there you go. All right, thanks to the Notre Dame football team, Rubidoux head coach Pat Thompson, David Zink, from the NHRA finals in Pomona. We've got No Nickname Nick, world famous intern Angel, and of course Greg Late running the board. We appreciate you watching and listening to the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.